Today, we are diving into an important topic: the difference between high frequency and low frequency inverters. This is something that a lot of folks are talking about, and there's a lot of misunderstanding out there. So let's clear it up. High frequency versus low frequency inverters. What's the difference? Inverters are at the heart of any solar system, just like this one. They take the DC power from your batteries and they turn them into AC power for your home. But not all inverters are built the same. High frequency inverters use lighter, more compact technology that many times is more efficient, making them efficient, affordable, and perfect for most modern applications. Low frequency inverters, on the other hand, they use big, heavy transformers. These are often better for handling extreme surge loads, like, let's say, something in a large industrial complex or large industrial equipment. So here's the simple breakdown. High frequency inverters, they're compact and lightweight. They're more efficient and definitely more cost effective. They're ideal for homes and small businesses alike. Low frequency inverters, they're built tough with heavy transformers. They'll handle very high surge loads, such as an industrial complex may need. And they're bulkier and usually so much more expensive. But let me be clear. High frequency inverters like this EG4 12000 XP are not inferior by any means. They're designed for the needs of modern homesteads, handling water pumps, air conditioners, even servers, just like we're doing right here. We're using the EG4 12000 XP on our homestead to run these water pumps, mini splits, air conditioners, and the computer servers, guys, all without any hitch whatsoever. It's efficient, it's reliable, and it's very cost effective. As Signature Solar says, solar's for everyone. For most homeowners, high frequency inverters are a fantastic choice. They offer plenty of power, even for the demanding loads that you may have. And they save you money compared to low frequency models. So both types of inverters, they have their place. But don't let anyone tell you that high frequency inverters are inferior or can't handle the job. It's all about choosing the right tool for your setup. And for us, the EG4 line offers incredible performance at a price that's very hard to beat. If you're considering a solar system, check out Signature Solar, where you can get $50 off your purchase with our exclusive coupon code by just clicking the link in the description. You'll take advantage of this deal. Thanks for joining me. If you found this helpful, give it a like or share, and please share it with a friend or family member. Also, if you're not subscribed, please subscribe to the Solar Homestead Life for more tips and insights. Until next time, keep shining and stay charged. We'll see you next time.